In today's video, we are going to be exploring the fate of Marko Dragic, or Tragedy of Marko Dragic, or Tragedy. No, okay, I'm gonna stop. Couldn't help myself, his surname was one letter away from spelling tragic. So yes, in today's video, we're going to be exploring the fate of Marko Dragic. Tragic Mark, the boy himself. To uncover this in your game, you're going to need to meet the prerequisites, and those are doing the Marko Dragic missions. They're stranger missions. The first one you can find in Saint Denis by this lake, and the second one's at his laboratory, which is all the way up here just north of Ansburg. Now these stranger missions are titled A Bright Bouncing Boy 1 and A Bright Bouncing Boy 2, and during these missions you'll learn a lot about this Marko Dragic character. I'm going to call him Tragico. So you learn that Marko Dragic specializes in electronics and has a fascination with creating robots. And now this is important to mention, by the end of A Bright Bouncing Boy 2, he manages to bring a robot to life, if only briefly.
Are you ready?
Sure. Second time lucky, eh?
Second time? More like 7,000. This is my life's work. It is incredible. Watch. My son lives!
What is it?
It is life itself. The morons who doubted me. It is me and you. Look at him. Isn't he wonderful?
Is that it?
For now. I am so happy. Oh, you just saw creation's second birth.
I just saw a machine waddle a few steps.
I have a son. I am the luckiest man alive. Those morons, they doubted me.
I'll see you later.
Yes, yes. Goodbye.
So he managed to bring his robot to life, if only briefly, before it shorted out and fell on the floor and was kind of momentarily dead. But in Marko Dragic's eyes at that time, it wasn't so much a setback but a step forward, so we assume that once we leave that place, he continues working on it to see if he can get it to last longer. Well, if you come back after a few in-game days, this is the sight you are met with.
Professor. Where's your creation now?
Marko Dragic is dead on the floor. You get a trophy called Artificial Intelligence, and his robot is gone. Dragic's demise does not look natural, as he's literally laying in a pool of his own blood. He was killed by something. You also get the chance to pick up an electric lantern, which I can imagine could come in handy. So it would appear as if Dragic was killed by his own creation. That's the only thing here that makes sense. Around the lab you'll find several notes, such as this one on the desk next to Dragic's body that has diagrams of the robot, which reads invisible waves, ghost waves, mystery waves, magic waves, waves you cannot see. Of course, he's probably talking about electricity of some variety, since that's kind of what he's obsessed with, harnessing lightning to create life. On the desk in the far end of the room, there is another note, which documents Dragic's game plan. It reads 5 years, 1 automaton, receive funding, win scientist prize, 6 years, 2 automatons, make automaton factory. 10 years, 100 automatons, become very rich man. 15 years, automaton army, take over the world. Fucking hell. Unfortunately for Dragic, his prototype automaton had its own ideas and killed him. Or at least that's how it would seem. As to what actually happened here, we don't know, but the robot is gone. Could it have left of its own accord, or was it taken? That's where we're going to have to leave this sinister laboratory behind and do some travelling. So if you head to this point in the northwestern part of the map, we will find something else of interest with regards to the fate of Marko Dragic. First things first, you'll notice that getting up to this point can seem a little bit difficult to begin with, but eventually you'll come across a trail that resemble footprints to some variety, and if you follow them all the way to where they end, you will find Marko Dragic's automaton sat overlooking the vista while calling out for his papa, who is Marko Dragic. That, or he's just feeling remorseful. And yes, if you so wish to kill this robot, the robot is then recognised as a corpse, and it found itself fully capable of walking all the way across the map to this location, so I'd say it could very easily have killed Marko Dragic. And I mean, who else could have done it, because nobody goes over there anyway. So my theory is Marko Dragic managed to find a way to keep his robot conscious, his robot then either unintentionally or intentionally killed him, and then moved all the way over here to sit and wallow in his own self-pity. Probably did him a favour by killing him, just saying. Now, I would label this a sad story, but if that letter is to be believed, Marko Dragic was planning on taking over the world with an army of robots. But it just shows us that Marko Dragic was messing with something that he thought he understood, but in reality he really didn't, and it backfired. So let this be a lesson to all the mad scientists out there. Go out and make some fucking friends, don't try to create them in a lab. They'll kill you. But anyways, that was the tragedy of Marko Dragic's fate. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Be sure to go ahead, leave a like, subscribe, share the channel with your friends and all that wonderful stuff. Be sure to go ahead and drop me a follow on Twitter as well. I would really appreciate that. And I'll see you all very soon with another video at some point.